Hey guys. Okay, let's get started. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Yvonne and Lane. Hello. You guys say hi when you come on and let me know where you're watching from. We have Dee from Michigan, Clara from Nevada, North Florida in the house. Hi again, Yvonne. Welcome, Diana, Jennifer, Jason. Hello, everybody. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to do a continuation today of what I started last week. Oftentimes, when I come live, I give you guys the disclaimer to not trust me. So I may start doing something one way live with you guys. And then when I give you the final product, you're like, okay, that is not at all where I thought that was going. That's because I change my mind quite a bit. And that's what I did here. So last week, we started working on a cedar chest, and we were going with an industrial style. So last Thursday, I laid the base coat down, and that was Manatee Gray, okay? The next day, I went live on my personal page, Lotus Theory Designs, and I started to do an industrial blend using shades of gray, white, and taupe. And then my vision actually hit after that. So I went a totally different direction. I'm not going to show you where I ended up, but I'm going to show you how I got there today on the top. So this is the last piece to the cedar chest that I was working on. It's going to be final. What I do here today is going to be what you guys see when I reveal the finished product. So if you don't know me, I'm Bianca, owner and artist of Lotus Theory Designs. I am also a brand ambassador for Dixie Belle Paint Company. I have the best job. Anyway, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I also tried last week to show you guys my before and it wouldn't work. So let's just see if it's going to work today, just so you can get an idea. It's not working again. So that must be an issue. I tested it earlier. It was working. It's not working again. So you'll just have to wait. I'm so sorry. I keep trying to give you guys pictures of what it looked like so you can at least get a visual of the base of the piece, but looks like it's not going to happen today. Okay, so I'm going to be doing an industrial blend on the top of this, okay? Here's the colors, because you guys are going to ask, what colors are you using? And there they are, but I'll also tell you, okay? So this is the top of the cedar chest. I have it coated in 2 coats of Caviar. We're going to go over that with a rough blend, grungy blend. So it's coated in 2 coats of Caviar. This is Dixie Belle's black, okay? I also used, or will be using today, bronze paint and patina without the spray. So I often use the patina line of paints as standalone paints. And I'm also going to be using Moonshine Mettalics Silver Bullet. Okay, so basically 3 different types of paint are going to give me one blend. It is totally okay to mix these up and use all the Dixie Belle products together for the most part, okay? If we get to it, I'm going to show you a little bit of using the gemstone mousse. That's if we get to it. I'm going to be using flat the mini brushes for this, so not the angled ones, just the minis. And I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I'm going to try to keep an eye on the comments. Go ahead and leave them. I'll try to answer them. Other than that, just enjoy the show. All right, let me move. Let's move this up. Don't worry, I will fix the camera so that you have a better angle. So like I said, I just kind of messily put 2 coats of Dixie Belle's Caviar on this. Camera does not want to be straight today, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. There we go. Okay. I'm going to work with this, okay? So again, the goal today is going to be to do a grungy blend. So I'm going to use the 3 colors that I showed you. And right now I'm just going to open them up. And I'm going to show you how one way that I achieve an industrial finish. I love using any of the metallics when I do my industrial finishes. I feel like really that metal look is what really makes the industrial vibe believable. So All right. 3 paint colors, 3 brushes. You can see I already have my Caviar brush ready from earlier. And I'm just going to start layering. You guys, this is a fun technique because you don't really have to think too hard as you do it. All right, here we go. A little bit of Caviar. Notice I'm just tossing it on there. This is why I said it's fun. Okay, I'm not being precise. I'm totally going for brush marks in different directions. Just going in different ways. Just literally slapping it on there. Okay, if you have OCD, don't freak out on me. Just bear with me. It'll look cool, I promise. Getting a different brush, and now I have the bronze paint on the brush, okay? Same thing. Just gonna layer it on. I'm just going crazy. Again, trust me. Try to move that. Does that help? Can you see that better? Hi, Erin. Okay, and I can jump back and forth. And also, remember I said I have silver bullet? Let's toss some of that in there and see what we get. Again, crazy strokes, okay? Not a single one of them are going in the same direction. Not going for any kind of even consistency. I'm going for texture. I'm going for brush strokes. In the end, this is going to look really like brushed metal. So as the paint dries, you guys, the metallics do dry a little bit faster than the regular chalk mineral line. That's actually giving me some cool effects. So I'm lightly taking my Caviar brush and just kind of going over some of it. And because that paint is drying, as I go over it some more, it's actually pulling it a little bit, which is part of the texture that I was going for. Don't worry, I'll give you a close-up in a few minutes here. And I'm just going to keep alternating between the colors. So again, this is the bronze. Let's toss a little bit of Caviar in there. As I said in the beginning, this is a fun technique. You guys, like, truth be told, if I have to think too hard, I'm not having as much fun. I love techniques like this where I can literally feel like I know what I'm doing because I'm just slapping it on there. I mean, it looks like I know what I'm doing, right? I'm just going with it. I would encourage you to do the same. And back to the silver. Again, I'm alternating the way my strokes are going. I'll give you a close-up in just a sec. I wish I could show you the base. The base, I did the same technique too. And it looks pretty awesome. The trick is to just kind of keep layering, keep going over it. Keep adding colors. Kind of go over a little bit, leave some alone. The trick is just to keep going until you get it to where you want it. All right, so I think this is starting to dry enough to where I'm going to be able to give you a close-up without it just being super glary because it's not as wet. Let me do that for you. Here we go. So sorry, my camera is always stuck. You would think with all my technology, I'd be super, super wireless right now, but I'm not. Here we go. So hopefully you can see that okay. So I'm just going to keep going with this technique to the end of the top here. And I will take a step back. I will assess it and say, hey, you know, maybe I should have put a little bit more silver there, a little bit more bronze there, so on and so forth. And what I did for the base is after I was done with this technique, I went in with some of the mousse and did even more layering and accenting. Come on, camera. So sorry, guys. Okay. Let me see if you have any questions. Pamela says, can't wait to see the close-up. Very cool. I hope you were satisfied with that. Oh, Anthony's here. Okay, so Anthony, you guys, Anthony and I did the live together Friday on our pages. We streamed live to our pages. And Anthony got a sneak peek of the base. So he's saying the base looks cool because he got to see what my base looks like. There's a lot going on it. Is it Sally? Sally Joe says, painting with 3 brushes, very impressed. I'm nervous about one. This is why this technique is so much fun. If you're nervous, start here because I'm not doing anything that even the newest newbie couldn't do. I'm putting paint on the brush, okay, and I'm just flicking my wrist and moving the paint around on the surface. And once I get it laid down, like I said, I can always go back and be like, okay, I need more bronze here. I need more silver there. You can do it, Sally Joe. Thank you, Brandy Garcia. Thank you, Dixie Belle. Okay, Heather says, and Heather, that's not a stupid question. I'm glad that you asked. Heather says, is the bronze patina like a metallic? Yes. The only difference that I really find is that it activates with the patina spray. Oh, my examples are outside. I actually did use some iron patina with the patina spray to show you, but they're outside. I was hosing them down with some top coat outside, so that's okay. You can wait and see, but yes, very similar, except the regular metallics will not activate when using patina spray. I think there's like actual metal or something inside of the, I don't know. Then we start getting into science, and that's where you lose me, but something within the patina line of paints makes them patina when used with the patina spray. I'm almost done here, and then I'm going to show you what else I did to create some texture on the body. Barbara says, what if you paint with all 3 at one time? Can you elaborate for me, Barbara? I'd love to answer your question, but I need you to elaborate a little bit. Thank you, Sally Joe. Amy wants to try this. What is that you're painting? I'm painting the top of a cedar chest. I painted the base kind of off to the side alone, and I just know that I was going to get some follow-up questions. How did you do that? And so I figured I would save the top for you guys to show you. So it doesn't look like much now, but when it comes together, it will. Okay, so the other thing that I can do is I can take my brush and I can add some texture. Like this, okay? So I didn't put any more paint on it. I mean, I might have to, but right now I'm just using the existing paint on the brush, okay? This is adding texture. It's adding some depth. Okay. Let me show you the texture that I'm creating. So if you can see it, whoops, that's the floor. Hopefully you can see it, see where I did that here. Maybe you can see it a little bit here. I know that there's glare from the lighting off the metallics. But trust me, it looks cool, okay? So I can just kind of keep going around. Don't worry about these brushes right now. I told you I'm using Dixie Belle's mini brush. It can take this abuse. If I were using like a cheapy brush from the dollar store or a chip brush, forget it. It would be totally frayed out like this forever. But I abuse the heck out of these brushes. And it'll be okay, I promise. So I'm going to keep doing this, okay? I'm going to keep going until it's done because I wanted to show you the mousse. Okay, here's a great example. That was super wet there, okay? And I just took my brush and went over it. And it pulled up some of my paint. That's awesome to me, okay? Again, industrial, grunge, the messier, the better. So that created a pretty cool effect. I'm going to leave that. I'm okay with it. I'm just going to blend it a little bit more. Okay. Yes. And notice I didn't put any more paint on my brushes. I've really just been using the existing paint. And yep, getting some more paint pulling here. Maybe I can bring you in and show you that. Hopefully you can see that. If not, again, that's where it lifted up because it wasn't dry yet and I went over it. I am going for that, okay? The messier, the better. Okay. I just need to take a sec and assess because if it's pretty much how I like it, then I'm going to move on to my next step. Just going to put a little tiny bit of silver on this brush here. Kind of blend it in a little bit better. I just used a different brush to blend it. Just so happened to be my bronze brush. Let's add a little bit here because I'm kind of heavy on the bronze in that corner. Again, I just swapped to a different brush. This is the bronze. I can swap to the Caviar. There we go. It just kind of muted it a little bit. Wasn't such a bright pop of silver. Okay. A little heavy on the silver there. I'm going to add a little bit of the black back in. And I think one more corner, and then I'm going to move on to the next step. Just blend this a little bit better here. Yep, I can live with that. Okay, so that took me what? Just a couple of minutes. I wasn't stressed. I was just doing my thing. Okay. So normally I would let this dry before I add the mousse, but for the sake of being able to show you guys what I did, I'm just going to go with it and hope that it turns out okay. But one thing I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm just going to put these brushes on a plate and I'm just putting some water on them because I don't, I'm live with you guys. I don't have time to go wash them right away. So I'm just going to put some water on them and they'll hold and not get dried out while we work on the next step. Okay, so that's just a little secret, well, not really a secret. How about that? A tip. That's better. It's not really a secret. I think that a lot of people know this. Okay, let me look and see. Try to reach my mouse here. See if I missed any questions. I will come back though, you guys, and see if I missed anything. Oh, Aaron. Aaron says it's the Milky Way to Leah's Nebula. I like that. Leah's Nebula is amazing. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out. It's Leah Noelle Design Co. She has a nebula style, and it's just beautiful. Yep, that's one thing Anthony and I agreed on when it comes to doing industrial. That's the nice thing about this style is there's no rules. Do what you want. Hello, Angela. Just kind of scrolling, make sure I didn't miss anything. Lots of good feedback. Thank you, everybody. And let's move on to the next step. Okay. So I don't want to make it fall. Hopefully you can get a better view if I do that. Okay, so you saw me apply that. It looked like a crazy hot mess as I was doing it, and I love it. Okay, totally easy. Try this at home, kids. Okay, so the next thing I did on the base is I used the new gemstone mousse to accent just parts of the base. Okay, just get them open. Now, you guys, the mousse won't be available until the fall. So I'm showing it to you now because it's, you know, I want to get you excited. But also when it comes out, you'll have some examples as far as how to use it, what it is, and you'll be nice and excited. So it's going to come in, I think it's 6 colors. So far, I've used the gold, I've used the red. On this, I'm using the silver and the copper. And I'm just, sorry if you can't see me, I'm stirring them up. It's important when you use these mousses, mousse, whatever the plural is for mousse. It's important when you use these that you stir them up really good. They're already partially stirred because I just used them, but definitely take the time to give them a good stirring. The silver is nifty. I thought it was just going to be silver. I'm not a huge fan of silver, but when I opened it and whipped it, check this out. I mean, it's like liquid silver foil. It looks like chrome. I don't know how you did that, Dixie Belle, but I am here for it. Thank you for that. It is such a cool effect. Okay, so let me get some little artist brushes. Yeah, we'll use these. Okay, so I broke my brush. I totally broke it. I'm so rough on stuff. But the top is fine. So if you're wondering what this is a round small, but I broke the handle off. I don't know my own strength. Okay, let me get a plate. And let's start with the copper. So you didn't see it, but I put a little bit of copper onto the head of the brush here, wiping away the excess. Okay. And let's start on this corner. So I'm going to use the same technique that I used throughout here and just kind of messily add it. And what it's doing is, even though the bronze and the copper are kind of similar, it's really giving some dimension to the bronze paint that I used by, I don't know, just giving it some pop. So I just kind of tapped it on there. Watch what I do. Again, these metallics dry pretty quick, so I'm able to do this. So I just take my hand and I'm just kind of blending it in. Okay, I don't mind if my hand gets a little bit dirty. Okay, so maybe I'll kind of come along the edges here. Maybe I'll come up, maybe I'll do some swirling. Okay, I can blend it in with my hand a little bit. Maybe do some up here. Why not, right? Now, you don't have to do what I'm doing with my hand. You don't have to, you know, move it around and smear it in. It's really just the look that you're going for. Okay, no rules. It's industrial. Anthony, I think we're going to hashtag that or something. I'm sure there's already hashtag no rules, so we'll have to come up with our own. I do though, like in this field, in this industry, in my art, I do kind of have a I do what I want attitude. And so that's why I think this style works so well for me. Let me move this because I don't feel like I need to be in any kind of structure. I just do what I want. I'll flip this up in a minute and kind of give you the view this way so that you can see it a little bit better. I know the light's reflecting off of it. But same thing, I'm just kind of messily tossing some of it on there. I really like the look of it over the bronze because it's just kind of waking up the bronze a little bit. So that's the copper. Let me flip it up so you can get a better view. And then I'm going to jump to the silver and then we'll be done. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm sorry. I know the glare and the light and all that. Let me try to, maybe if I shade it like this, can you kind of see it? Well, you can see it more on this angle. Do you see it like here? See how just kind of pops, gives it some metallic. I'm telling you, it looks like foil, but liquid foil sheets. I love it. Okay. The other thing that I used on the other piece was the silver. Again, the silver is so cool. It looks like chrome. It does kind of flake a little tiny bit like silver leafing foil would. I mean, just barely, but I think that that's actually really cool. I like that. I mean, you can just see it on the plate. It almost looks like flaky. There we go. If you can see it from that angle a little bit, like the foil sheets, and they get almost kind of glittery looking. I love that. All right, so let's pick a corner. Oops, sorry guys, hold on. Let me come over here so I can see what I'm doing. Let's work on this corner. Just gonna add a little bit. Okay, I just grabbed an artist brush. I'm gonna be pretty abusive on it, as you can see. I definitely, like, this is not a brush that I care about as far as the artist brushes. Artist brushes, they don't seem to take the same abuse that, or can't withstand it as well as the Dixie Belle synthetic brushes. So I don't care about this one. This particular brush is meant for this. So I'm just letting you know, like, if you're going to use this technique, you know, don't use your favorite artist brushes that you spent a lot of money on, unless you know for a fact that they can take this type of abuse. Okay. So same thing. Okay. See how that silver is really kind of popping again with the glare. Can you see it? I'm showing you this, trying to give you a better, it's just going to be glary. Sorry. It's so high metallic that it's just glaring with the light. So it's okay. You guys will see it in the completed piece with pictures. Not really a whole lot to do with the silver because I don't want to overwhelm it in silver. And I need to put a little bit more mousse on my brush here. So again, I'm just putting the excess off. Sue, are you calling me a tease me? Never. Lynn, the mousse is water-based. Good question. Suzanne says, art, make your own rules. Absolutely. Yvonne, yep, the mousse is water-based. Okay, so just make sure I'm not missing anything important. Again, I will come back. Let's do this. Let's kind of jump in the middle here a little bit. Okay. Smooth it around a little bit. Okay, it almost looks like I put a little bit of foil there. Now, if I really wanted to darken this up, I could come in and hit it with black wax. That would look really cool. That's not what I'm going to do for this because that's not the look that I'm going for. But I'm just telling you, black wax over all of this Would look amazing if you're looking to try this at home. Okay, so I think that you guys get the point. I'm gonna have to probably finish it off or finish it up off camera because it's gonna be one of those things where I need to take a look, take a step back, take a look, assess, and then kind of come in and fine tune the details. Let me see if I can flip it up. Hopefully that gives you an idea. I am probably gonna, I can already tell you now that I'm looking at it from this angle, I'm probably gonna come in and add a little bit of black just in places because I do see areas where I would like to see it darkened up a bit. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it, okay? Again, this is the top, for those of you just joining in, the top to a cedar chest, okay? So there's a method to my madness, I promise. All right, let me see if you have any questions. And I am hot. It is, I think 116 is the high today here. So I'm gonna come in closer, but I'm telling you right now, I'm a little sweaty. The hair is going up. Okay. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry says it looks great. Barbara likes it too. Yvonne likes it. Thank you, Anthony. The mousse is loose. Yes, Angela. Okay, so, Jennifer says, no rules. I wish I could afford all the colors so I could just go totally freestyle with whatever strikes my fancy. That is the cool thing about this technique. I barely used any paint, you guys. So you could get the smaller jars and accomplish this. So I'm glad that you said that. You don't have to invest. I mean, I barely used any paint. I think I dipped it in this, twice, maybe 3 times. The Caviar, you'd have to buy a little bit more because I did put 2 coats down as a base. But to just, kind of tinker around and play, get the smaller jars, this size, the 8-ounce jars, okay? Okay, any other questions? Yeah, exactly, Sherry. I know. See, but you guys have the humidity, although some days it is humid because we get the monsoons. It is so warm. Thank you, Gail. Yes, Lynn, exactly. Steampunk industrial. I'm telling you, it is such a liberating style. It's my favorite. For one, because I just love the style, but for 2, it's just no rules. Just have fun. Okay. So if you guys have learned anything today, have fun. Angela says also great if you have any leftovers and you can't use it for a full project. Exactly. Okay. So try not to limit yourself, guys. Try not to be like, I wish I could afford all the colors. Get small jars, the little 8-ounce jars, and just get a couple. This was a total of 3 colors. Okay, mousse excluded. This was 3 colors. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna come back later. Okay, and if you're catching this on the replay, go ahead and drop your questions. I'll come back later. I will check them. I usually come back about once on the Dixie Belle page. If you leave your comments on my page, which is Lotus Theory, I get to them a lot faster and with ease. I'll be back next week, next Thursday at 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. No, I'm so sorry. 3 o'clock Eastern Time, which is 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona. And I'll be streaming live the same way to both Lotus Theory and Dixie Belle. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I don't know what we'll be working on next week, but hopefully it's something cool and fun. And hopefully it's cooler. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week. Bye.